Hello and welcome to today's April 7th Daily News Report. If you're a subscribed member of my community, then welcome back. You watch this channel each day because I keep you in the loop on what's really going on in Washington, D.C. with President Biden and the U.S. economy, so let's jump right in. I'd like to thank today's broadcast sponsor, Policy Genius, and I'm going to tell you how to save money with them later in today's video. This morning, the Senate confirmed Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson as the next Supreme Court justice once Justice Stephen Breyer officially retires. According to reports, the United Nations General Assembly has voted to suspend Russia from the Human Rights Council amid global outrage over atrocities Moscow forces are believed to have committed against Ukrainian citizens. The Senate also voted this morning 100-0 to totally ban business dealings with the country of Russia. Following up on Big Oil's Senate hearing that I reported on yesterday, the oil companies defended themselves. ExxonMobil's chairman, Darren Woods, stated that no single company sets the price of oil or gasoline. The markets establish the price based on available supply and the demand for that supply. Continued investment in new production to offset depletion and meet growing demand is the only way to achieve balanced markets and more affordable prices, bringing relief at the gas pump. So essentially they said, President Biden, quit dragging us under the bus. You have said with your own mouth that it is a global industry and we don't set the prices, the market does. So quit throwing us under the bus. Shell also said the U.S. pulling out of Russia cost their business $5 billion. So quit pretending that we aren't being hurt by this war too. We are going through just what everyone else went through over the last 2 years. So whether you believe them or not, that was their defense yesterday before Congress. President Joe Biden said he plans to revoke Trump's administrative Title 42 and that it's a done deal in his mind. Title 42 was set in place by former President Donald Trump amid the COVID-19 pandemic, and its purpose was to block asylum seekers from entering the country. Trump argued that they could be carrying different variants of COVID-19. This allowed migrants to be expelled instead of deported, which means that they were sent back to Mexico within hours of being here and were not put up in hotels, given food, cell phones, like what we're seeing right now. Biden said he can no longer keep this in place and plans to revoke it. The CDC has announced that it will be revoked on May 23rd. Some Democrats have argued that the timing of this is really bad since we have the elections coming up and there is chaos at the border. Are you trying to help Republicans win the next election? Now, close to 2 million people illegally crossed the border in 2021, so it's no small problem. The governor of Texas has said two things that caught attention in the news. First, he said he is having the Texas military train and prepare for a mass run on the border late May and early July. Early June. Second, he said all captured illegal immigrants allowed to stay in the country will be shipped immediately to Washington, D.C. and dropped off as close to the White House as possible. He said Texas is not going to deal with Biden's mess anymore. D.C. can deal with it directly. Now, I have a lot more to share with you, but first let me take a minute to tell you about today's video sponsor. I want to thank today's video sponsor, Policy Genius. Policy Genius is America's leading online insurance marketplace. They can help you save money today on life insurance by getting you the best price. Recently, I had a conversation with an old high school friend of mine. As we spoke, the topic of life insurance came up. When he mentioned he had 4 kids, a wife, and no life insurance outside of his job, I nearly fell over. Did you know that most work life insurance cancels when you leave the job? And in most cases, it's just enough to cover your funeral, but leaves your family unprotected financially. So if you have family or loved ones that depend on you for your income, then you need life insurance. And in most cases, It's a better price than you would even guess. Now, did you know that you could save 50% or more on life insurance by comparing quotes with Policy Genius? So head to policygenius.com/Stephen Gardner and get your insurance quotes and see how much you could save today. All right, now let's get back to today's news update. A new report shows members of Congress over in the House of Representatives are against banning themselves from being able to trade stocks using insider information. Wow! I'm totally shocked that they would be against giving themselves the ability to make millions of dollars with illegal insider trading information. I mean, why do we keep voting in people that say that they got into politics to help voters when really they got into politics for power and to make millions of dollars? They are supposed to support the voter, not make millions of dollars off of us. A German magazine has just released a bombshell report on Russia stating that Germans intercepted radio communications where Russian military troops reportedly admitted to the crimes against Ukrainian civilians. They claimed in one recording that a Russian soldier was heard bragging about shooting a Ukrainian off of his bicycle. The New York Times recently published footage showing Russian armored vehicles shooting Ukrainian citizens while riding their bikes. But it's unclear if these are the same two events. But either way, now it's been documented over the radio and been documented in video footage. So Russia is going to have a very hard time continuing to say that this is propaganda and that they are innocent. Former President Barack Obama was interviewed about Putin yesterday and stated that he believes the Putin today is very different than the Putin he dealt with in the past. He said that he thought conflict would escalate during his presidency, and so for these reasons, he purposely didn't help Ukraine, but could have never predicted that Putin would act the way he's acting today. Triple vaccinated House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has tested positive for COVID. This news came after China warned the United States about Nancy Pelosi's planned trip to visit Taiwan. The United States is already thinking about taking action to discourage China from following Russia's lead against Taiwan. Fears are emerging that China may try to overtake Taiwan as Russia has attempted to take over Ukraine. China is discouraging the United States from taking any action against them, saying that the United States will be at fault for any consequences that arise if they decide to make a move against Taiwan. Former President Donald Trump said in an interview lately, he believes China will absolutely make a move on Taiwan based on NATO's response to Russia and after seeing the failed exit of Afghanistan. He said it will likely be another war the United States doesn't want to enter, and China knows it. So he's predicting that China is absolutely going to make a move on Taiwan. Now, according to a report on The Hill, California is testing a new stimulus check or universal basic income program. They want to give transgender people $1,000 every month for 3 years to see how it improves their lives. For the past 2 weeks, it's been reported that Jack Maxey, who's been in hiding in Zurich, working with IT experts to dig through the hard drive of Hunter Biden's laptop, he stated that he plans to post all of the data and make all of the images searchable in a database very soon. How much data was there? He claims that as of right now, they've recovered over 80,000 images and videos and 120,000 archived emails. The whistleblower also claims that he gave this data to news outlets, but they're refusing to talk about it. Now, according to CBS, in a breaking news report, federal regulators show that banks, large banks, flagged close to 150 suspicious bank transactions for bank accounts held by Hunter Biden and President Joe Biden's brother, James Biden. It's now come out that James Biden was being paid $65,000 a month by a Chinese consulting company for which he had no experience. So why was he being paid $65,000 a month for a job he had no experience? I don't know. Good question, right? Hunter Biden is currently living in a Malibu mansion which costs $30,000 a month. So why should you care that the president's son, who's under investigation for tax fraud and breaking international business law, because the $30,000 a month for the Malibu beach mansion is being paid for by you, the taxpayer? So while you struggle to buy groceries and pay the bills, the president's son is in a $30,000 a month beachfront mansion paid for by the American taxpayer. Isn't that wonderful? Oh, what a great piece of news. Sheesh. All right, this is my update for today. As I know more, I will definitely come on and share more with you. For the month of April, Casey and I are giving away $100 gas gift cards to members of our YouTube community. We know that these ridiculously high gas prices are affecting many of you, and this is our best way of helping out. I'll make sure to leave a link in the video description down below. Also, click on the Policy Genius link right now. Go save yourself money on life insurance, auto insurance, homeowners insurance. We could all use some savings right now, and Policy Genius is here to help you. Now, before you go, I just want to remind you that you are amazing. I appreciate you being in my community, and I'll see you on the next video.